hear from Uncle Morty. You're canceling Passover. Are you crazy?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
We have never canceled Passover, Andrea. Never, never, never. Not during the Inquisition. Not during the pogroms. Not during the plague of the locusts.
The plague of the locusts was before Passover.
Exactly. You prove my point.
We are not canceling Passover. We're
I
just looking
loved
into
this
some
so
other
much.
options.
What a wonderful, like, exploration of the relationship of mother and daughter planning a Seder. It was really, really lovely. And I thought they both did a great job. I love Renee Taylor. She's so funny. Both women were really, really, really good. And I really thought the writing was excellent. It was very sweet and very touching and very real. Like it felt like a conversation that I would have with my mom on the phone. I really am tickled by this by this lovely video. I just thought that both of them were so great. And again, the editing was wonderful. The direction was wonderful. The costuming was amazing on this one. I don't know what Renee is wearing. That's fabulous. And then the screens behind her. Oh my God. Obsessed. So good. Congratulations. Loved this one.
This was so funny. The mom was just hilarious, and I could just, you know, watch her in like any film. She's so good. The idea of her thinking that the virus, it's a rumor, and that she's going out with her friends is just so funny. And she just kind of reminds me of my grandma. So, yeah, I just really loved it, and I thought both performances were great, but really the mom kind of stuck out to me.
A conversation between a woman and her mother around Passover, and sort of the exploration of how we've had to communicate with our families that we can't make it for certain holidays throughout quarantine because of the danger of spreading this virus, obviously. I thought it was a very realistic conversation. The mother character was absolutely hilarious, and everything that she said was 100% believable, and definitely something that I've had to deal with in my own life throughout the holidays. I loved how, even though there was a lot of comedy behind it, this film in particular managed to have a very heartwarming conclusion with lessons learned and obstacles overcome, which was really sweet. And I think it is surprisingly optimistic as a message of connecting with people who are far away from you, and the opportunities provided by video call services like Zoom to connect with people that in normal times you just wouldn't be able to. So yeah, very sweet, surprisingly, and also very funny.
Matzah was just the most nostalgic and the most relatable to me. I think it captured perfectly the dynamic between the different generations super well, that I know is something I had to go through, early in the pandemic. The grandma character was absolutely hilarious. Reminded me of my own grandmother for sure. And it really just captured these kind of frustrating conversations that I feel like many people had to have with their parents and grandparents. And it just, nailed that. I thought the writing was great, and I think it told a really good story. And I loved the ending especially. I feel like it left such like a positive note about how, despite all of these hardships, people and families are still able to connect for holidays. And it was just, a really beautiful ending and a great story. And I thought it was super hilarious all the way through. So good job.
I really, really liked this. I think that it's one of those things that, especially in 2020, and even a little bit in 2021 too, that families, like including my own family, like really had a hard time with, of accepting that like you just couldn't do things the same way that you always had. And even though it was tradition and like you hadn't missed things in like X amount of years, that you've done this, tradition for X amount of years, meant that it needed to look different. And that was okay, and like letting go of that kind of like control. So seeing like the progression, and then having some of the times be like, oh no, that was fantastic, because like now I don't have to clean my house, I don't have to travel back home, I don't have to like take days to prepare to like feed everybody and like host and things like that. I thought it was really great to show the progression of her being like, that was like, this is gonna be the worst, I'm not looking forward to it, after like the first initial phone call, and then the next thing you see is like, that was great, so many people that like don't usually show up like logged in and like, you know, jumped into the call and stuff like that. So I thought it was really great kind of showing how things have kind of morphed and how everybody has adjusted.
It definitely reminded me of things that I had to go through during that transition during the pandemic. This was definitely more lighthearted than what I'm gonna get into, and it's very brief. I don't want to down the mood or anything, but when lockdown first hit, it really shook up the norms of life. A lot of traditions, a lot of holidays were shattered because no one could really get together because it just wasn't safe. And while it wasn't a holiday, I had to attend a funeral. And I remember that I guess I connected with how defeated but accepting the mother was, where she didn't want to do it, but she knew that was the only option. And so she just went along with it. And I definitely connected with that feeling where it's not what you want to do, but you don't really have a choice in the matter. But this was definitely much more sweet. This was definitely more lighthearted. And I definitely enjoyed it.